Hi guys, welcome to the last episode of 2025 of the Car Weekly Roundup. And today is 28th December 2024, just 3 days away to 2025. I hope your December has been short like mine, but also not bad. I hope you're healthy wherever you are. I hope business is moving, or if not business, I hope work is moving. Yeah, but I wish you a good ending of the year. But let's first get into the news. Lots of accidents have been happening around Kampala. And apparently, according to police, more than 50% still border guys and pedestrians. So it's more dangerous to walk than to drive. And of course, Mercedes-Benz is releasing an electric vehicle. The 2025 CLA is coming. And of course, in 2024, I'm going to try and round up what happened, like Nissan and Honda getting into a merger, Volkswagen closing more than 3 factories, laying off a lot of workers, German car manufacturers are struggling, and of course now Subaru is doing away with some of the sedans because you guys apparently prefer SUVs and crossover SUVs. So we have quite a number of things to cover. Welcome to the weekly. We're gonna make them dance. Come on. Jump. And then of course you guys have seen the jam at Busega. The guys that have been going to the village, yeah? There is a lot of jam. It goes all the way to Masana for roundabout, yeah? Now, that jam has always been there, but it wasn't as much as what it is now. It started happening, being this serious when they opened the Busega market. You know that car market that they opened, yeah? And then they made sure the traffic goes through a certain angle to enter. They even put a taxi park there. So most of the traffic that goes to the taxi park has to actually overcrowd the road. And remember, there was already overcrowding, and it's not nice. It's not nice. So I've faced it a lot. Now it starts normally at around 8 a.m. At 8 a.m. probably because everyone is now moving. So even the people that are going to the Entebbe Express are affected. So if you're going to the Entebbe Express, earlier is better. But Juliza Dalala in zona, it's really not good. And I think this is why KCCA, if you didn't know, if you have not seen in the Kampala city, KCCA is like demolishing all roundabouts. They have already demolished the one at Kubiri, Waliye Wakakande. They have demolished the Mulago, Waliye Mulago, the Mulago roundabout, Ngako Mulago Hospital. They have demolished, which other roundabout did I see? I'm forgetting. But they have demolished a number of roundabouts and they are putting traffic lights. Kubiri, Mulago, and they are working, yeah? And they are working. And I remember the first traffic lights that gave us magic were the traffic lights at Boise. And they have a huge budget. These guys are working with $18 million. I'm wondering how much they are eating. Even here, Renzori Courts, the car roundabout is being demolished. Even the one at near the Bank of Uganda and Posta. Yes, even that car roundabout is being, the one at Grand Imperial, it's also being, but they are putting traffic lights. I think the traffic lights will help us. If so, and they are also working on 27 other junctions, yeah, where they are going to put traffic lights. I'm sure you guys have seen the traffic lights that are coming up. And then I'm thinking if they do it computerized, like if the traffic lights guess that this way there is ngaba sirikale webakola traffic, yeah, and the lights realize that, you know what, there is a lot of traffic this way katukwateba not tebali abanyi ngaba traffic webakola, it would be a very good thing. And then of course KCCA is going to plant 10,000 trees. Why? Because apparently we have a lot of cars. And I think this is a good move by KCC, and everyone should be planting trees because we want to take care of our environment for our children and grandchildren, so that when we are gone, because we will go, even you will go. Yeah, and of course, Joseph Bayanga, he's called Joe Walker. I think he walks a lot. Has partnered with Coca-Cola. All the news is reporting that Coca-Cola has partnered with him. But I'm thinking Joe Walker started this thing. He has partnered with Coca-Cola. And they are creating awareness on safe road usage to try and curb road accidents. Yeah, so they're walking. It's a 12-day walk, walking from, and I think it started already, walking from Kampala to Fort Portal. And it will be concluded on December 30th in Fort Portal, where they will have a community event. Coca-Cola has apparently donated juice, water, and soda. I'm thinking they should give us more than that. They should give us money so that people eat money. Like January is going to be a tough month. People have school fees. They have rent. They have nothing one we treat rent. I don't know. But Coca-Cola should give us more than soda and juice. But yeah. But Joseph Bayanga, thank you very much. This is a very good thing. I don't know if most Ugandans realize that you can actually create awareness by doing things like this, more than the runs that have funded heavily, and Coca-Cola is doing a good job also by at least contributing. More people should hop onto this, yeah, and probably walk. Me, I'm scared of walking on Kampala roads. So Joseph is really brave, and the people that joined him on this walk. Yeah, so guys, let's use road safely, because even the police is actually doing the same. We saw police doing runs, and they are trying to create awareness on roads, on safe road usage, telling taxi guys muvuge bulungi, boda abatambuze bigere. So this festive season, everyone has been trying to make sure that people use the road safely, but of course a lot of accidents have still happened. So everyone that has tried to do what they have done, thank you very much. I've seen a lot of TikTokers trying to tell people drive safely. I've seen guys on YouTube do the same. I've seen bloggers do the same. Thank you very much for doing that. But also, as you write that, you too use the road safely, because we have seen a lot of powerful people get involved in accidents. The markets that run into the welding shop on Busabala Road, yeah. Markets wetukira okuva ku kubo nebuuka ekyo kitegeeza omwana yabadde adduka. So the markets on Busabala Road, I'm sure you guys saw the video. Like it derailed off the road, negenda netomero abantu nima neyingira a welding workshop, which is not good. The markets is very, very stable on the road. The guy is saying babadde wala border, but I personally don't want to take that excuse anymore of to what about border. We both know the government has failed to manage borders. The police has failed to manage borders. Borders are not going anywhere, because majority of men in Uganda today make their livelihood off of borders, and borders are ridden or driven by majority of uneducated people that don't care about the status quo, they don't care about the rules, they don't care about the law. So I don't want us to use the excuse of nabadde newalo wa border bagenda vuga bya kisiru. So by the time the markets actually, as you see in the video, by the time the markets wevira kubala nebuuka omwala negende yingire eri kitegeza yabadde adduka nnyo the control. And sometimes when you're driving, when you're overspeeding and you lose control, you'll see a lot of things, you'll imagine a lot of things. So the first step of being safe on the road is to not think that okay ngenda kwekwaso wa bodo bakana kabadde kasala. Go slow when you need to go slow. In populated areas, I've been telling you, drive at least 40 kilometers per hour, but I'm sure that guy was driving 80 kilometers per hour, and 80 kilometers per hour on a road like Busabala Road is high. So I'm not taking the excuse of a border, and just know, if you ever call me border, I will even laugh at you, because we know border guys ride recklessly. They don't give a damn. They drive like the world is theirs. Or they ride like the world is theirs. They can enter the road from out of nowhere. So when you're in a populated area and not a highway, drive safely, do 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers per hour. Don't go beyond that. Yeah. And then of course, let's go to the international scene. A bridge collapsed in Brazil, and it took with it several vehicles, including a truck that was carrying sulfuric acid. So when you say sulfuric acid, a truck that has sulfuric acid fell into the bridge, it feels like it's a horror movie, but it happened on 22nd December in Brazil. And in the video, like you can see, several people are seen stopping. I don't know how some people get that breaking news. There's a guy on TikTok that has been everywhere the accident is, he's there. Everywhere where there's an accident, he's there. He's recording. I don't know how people get these things. But of course, people are trying to, the rescue operations are going on. But of course now the acid spillage is something else. It's probably something that happened here with a fuel tanker that burnt people in Matuga. So these guys, it's sulfuric acid, but yeah, that happened. And of course Mercedes-Benz is launching the 2025 GLA, which is going to be electric. They are saying it gives you 789 miles per full charge, and you can charge for 10 minutes and get 186 miles, which is impressive. Impressive. But I know it's going to be expensive to buy. Mercedes-Benz is already expensive to buy when new or when Japan used. They only lose the value of Jivuka Kampala. So they are trying to compete with the BMW 2 Series, and that's a Grand Coupe, and they're also competing with the Audi A3 sedan. I don't know what these guys are intending to do, because the EV market is not good, it's not stable. It's the reason, of course, Audi and Volkswagen are together. Of course, Volkswagen is closing down factories and all that, and then Mercedes-Benz is entering such a turbulent market. It's like you saying, I don't know what is happening there. And then there is a company called Stellantis, Mujimanyi, yekola Fiat. They had a Fiat the electric car called the Fiat, and they are halting production because demand of electric vehicles is going down. So I don't know what Mercedes-Benz is trying to do. So they have halted the production of their Fiat 500 because abantu bachagura motoka. And of course, as the year went on, you guys remember when we started these episodes and the news were reported. I don't want you to forget that in November we got the fastest car, Ina record, the Bugatti Mistro. The Bugatti Mistro beat the world record for the fastest car. Kola 453.91 kilometers per hour, and it took place at the ATP Automotive testing center in Germany. Where Andy Wallace beat the previous record, yaliga 427 kilometers per hour. Yali nga the harness Venom Spider yajirina nejikuba. You also remember that Toyota this year made a number of recalls. You guys need to pay attention to recalls now that you guys are buying newer cars 2020, 2018. They recalled about 38,702 Corolla hatchbacks and sedans because of software issues. The braking system. You also remember that Toyota halted the production of the Corolla Fielder, the Axio, and the Yaris Cross. Because there were irregularities in the crash tests. So by stopping at the production of those cars. So for you guys that are buying the Fielders, before you buy the Fielder, check and see the crash tests, how did it perform in the crash tests. And of course, in April, Toyota recalled more than 200,000 vehicles. The Toyota Prius 2023, 2024 for the guys that are going to buy, and of course the Toyota Prius Prime. This is North America, Europe, and Asia, and we drive the Asian cars. It is said that the water, you know how your door is supposed to, the water can enter through the glasses on the window, and then they go out. But apparently, in those cars, 2023, 2024 Prius and Prius Primes, the water can go into the electronics, and then that's dangerous, you get. So that's why they recalled all those cars. So if you're going to be buying a 2023 model Prius, you need to make sure that was sorted before you buy it. Otherwise, ate wane Uganda obimanyi ebyaffe bajja gitwala bagayi bajja gikudizo demo gifuna 4 years later. You know, those stickers ze bateekako nga bagamba emotoka eno erina kutikka bweti, emotoka eno omupiira oteeka mumuka. Those stickers that are on your door, you know those stickers on the driver's side. So they had stickers, they put stickers that were wrong, and people could actually overload their vehicles. Otuna kumuroka nga you can take more than a ton, nenga temoroka ina kutika kilo bitano. So that's what happened. They recalled those, especially the Toyota Tacoma 2023. Of course, America have got moroka ampia. I don't know why. Then they have the Highlander, they have the Prius, Corolla Cross Hybrid, and others. And then of course Nissan. Then Nissan, of course, in the US stopped production of 2 of their models. They have the Nissan Rogue and then the Nissan Frontier. Frontier. So they stopped because buyers were not buying them anymore. And now I see people buying these cars locally. In America, bagula 0 mileage. And then of course still this year Nissan and Honda are merging. Of course we have Nissan, Honda, Mitsubishi, but we already know Mitsubishi belongs to Nissan. They bought it in 2016. So it's Honda and Nissan. We already know where a merger is happening. One is struggling, one has money. Nissan is struggling, Honda has money. So that's what's happening. They are trying to compete with Tesla and the Chinese car EV manufacturers. And of course, we know that electric vehicles are the future. So they are trying to compete. I don't know, maybe the market will work itself out eventually. And then of course, the Subaru Legacy, the Subaru Legacy sedan is not going to be manufactured after 2025. Why? Because you guys are buying SUVs and crossovers. Mwagala bagita batendo the mwagala Forester, mwagala XV, temuchagala the sedans because you want raised vehicles. It's not just here, it's globally. People want SUVs and crossovers. So the Subaru Legacy, which started being produced in 1996, is going to stop being produced in 2025 because you guys mwagala SUVs and crossovers. So that's what they're going to be manufacturing. So kati abaina Legacy, don't go to the bone and buy Legacy because even the spares will stop coming eventually the spares will. So start buying the SUVs only mabagula Subarus, yeah. And of course you guys know about director of Toyota bagula shares in Subaru. So that's what's happening. I'll take you to my place where we would play. I just want to go through the most popular vehicles of 2024 so that atete tugenda kumalako the car weekly roundup ngate mutegede mulkazi kyasinze kubira popular e Kampala wano. Now these are the most popular cars, and every car I mentioned ngabajibaraga. Toyota Vitz has been popular in 2024. Personally, I've driven 2 Toyota Vitz that came from the bond. 2. Yes, 2. One was a 1 liter, another was a 1.3 liter that had a 2NZ. I've driven 2, but I've driven 3 Toyota Vitz, 2008, 2009, 2010. Toyota Vitz is a very popular. Just go to Inner Street, you're going to get a comparison to Toyota Vitz. The Spacio, but if you can avoid it. The Spacio new model, the one that stopped being produced, I think in 2007, but it's very, very popular. And then the Toyota IST, I don't know what you guys want with the Toyota IST, very popular. The old model and the new model, they are both very, very popular. You guys muzagala. Subaru Impreza. It's like it's the baby of Subarus. Every woman wants to buy a Subaru. This year I've inspected about 4 Subaru Imprezas, and that's big. The Subaru Forester, everyone, I've inspected about how many Foresters. Recently we went and bought a Subaru Forester from the bond, 48 million shillings. And guys, I want you to know that Subarus are much more popular than Toyotas now because Subarus are much more cheaper in the bond than Toyotas. And then of course the Rumion. You guys, I don't like the Rumion, but you people like the Rumion. Very popular. The Toyota Noah. And then the Toyota Noah is going to be hard to beat right now because there is no substitute. Which substitute? The Serena? The Biante? The Noah is, and it's going to be popular for a very long time. I tell the newer models 2015 look really nice. And then of course we have the Touareg. Oh, you guys like the Touareg. The Touareg, then we have the Tiguan, yeah. The Nissan X-Trail. Now X-Trail is popular because people that can't afford Kawundo, they go to the X-Trail. And then of course that's where the Outlander goes. Nabagula Outlander batasola Kawundo ngasola Outlander ngagula Outlander. Toyota Wish. Ani atamanyi Toyota Wish bantu mujagala mulinga jibaye. And then when you go to Umbara it's doing taxi, when you go to Masaka it's doing taxi, when you go Ochitegera. So the Toyota Wish, and then the Mark X. You guys are embracing the Mark X, eh? Apparently people are no longer scared of fuel consumption, so they're buying. But if you buy the later models 2015, 2014 is otezinyo anyo mafuta. But you people like the Mark X. And then there's a BMW X6. You guys X5, X6, you guys like the BMWs, and then the Blue Tech. You people have been buying those cars. Now, of all these cars, if you're low income earner, go for the Vitz, go for the Passo. Spacio, avoid it. Yagwako tebachajikola. Don't buy it. The money that buys you a Spacio new model can get your Passo City. Raum has not been very popular this year. And then the Fielder, I don't know how I'm failing to mention the Fielder. You guys like the Fielder as well. And I find that some of the cars, like I said in one of the broadcasts, some of the cars you can avoid even as popular as they are. The Romion, the Fielder, the Spacio, avoid those cars. They are too overpriced. Yeah, and then of course there are some of these cars that are not overpriced, but you should avoid the Outlander, the Nissan, because they disturb the X-Trailer. The X-Trail disturbs a lot the people here. The Outlander disturbs people a lot, and of course the Touareg and Tiguan also disturb people. I know someone ajivuga ku weekend ate buli wajja mu weekend egenda mu garage na mana ajizayo kana ajipark na ajiza weekend ejana egenda like that. And then of course the Subarus, you guys know already, I've told you time and again, the Subarus have very delicate engines. And then of course as we end the year, I would like to tell you, if you can avoid a car that has a 1NZ engine, the old model of the 1NZ engine, leave it alone. Kanywa oil kalinga I think it's the SZ kanywa oil. kanywera ddala oil when it grows old. So if you're buying a car, even you guys that are replacing your engines, buy the new model 1NZ, the one that is in the Sienna, the one that is in the new Corolla, the one that is in the Rumion. That's the NZ you should be buying. Don't buy the old NZ even when you're making a replacement. Forester and the Vanguard, because I recently inspected cars in the bond, and most of the people that have been inspecting for SUVs are considering either a Vanguard or a Forester. So I just want to talk about these cars and make a verdict. In my own opinion, you don't have to take it, but I'm making it. So Subaru Forester and the Vanguard. Let's first look at the prices in the bond, because most of you guys that want to buy those cars can actually go to the bond. The Vanguard in the bond will start at 50 million and above. The Forester in the bond, you can even get at 46, 45. Now, let's talk about the years in the bond. At the Vanguard at 50 and above millions, I'm starting at a 2010, and at 46 and above million, the Subaru Forester, I'm talking about a 2012 and above. I'm thinking you're starting to compare. The Vanguard can have 7 seats. The Subaru Forester is a plain old car. In terms of ground clearance, these cars will perform the same. In terms of maintenance, the Subaru, almost every spare that goes to a Subaru Forester could go to a Legacy, could go to an Outback. So the spares, especially the suspension spares, it's cheaper to maintain a Subaru than it is to maintain a Vanguard. The Vanguard spares, teziga tanyo. So the Vanguard, in terms of suspension, it will be much more expensive to maintain a Vanguard than it is to a Subaru. Now, the Subaru Forester, if you don't buy the XT, which has a turbo, you buy a non-turbo version, and you drive it normally, the way we drive our Toyotas, you will not have trouble with the engine. Service it properly, and it has a pulley, inaka pulley ako akatawanya aka SC bwe kafa ensonga lwaki belts zitera okutuka ate bwe zikutuka namwe mubimanyi ebibaawo. So and then the Vanguard has, most of you guys want to buy it with a 2.4 liter engine. Very good, but enywa oil era engine yefa mangu. But if you drive it normally, give it service, bwetandika okunywa oil, give it a thicker oil, and then until it gives away. In terms of features in the car, Subaru has a lot of features. It has like warming seats or ventilated seats. It has eyesight technology, park assist. It has a lot of these amenities that the Vanguard doesn't have. The Vanguard is a plain old car. It doesn't have any amenities. When you buy a Vanguard, you'll even get bored. With a Subaru Forester, you will not get bored. What's my verdict? If you want to save money and you want to get a, now people are going to ask me, Arthur, why is it that Subarus zitawanyanya abantu? Everyone that buys a Subaru wants to drive it like a race car. Buy a Subaru, drive it normally, you'll have peace. You're saving more than 5 million by buying a Subaru Forester, a newer model than the Vanguard. So go for this Forester, just simply because you're getting more features, you're saving money, and still you're getting the ground clearance. The Subaru Forester is actually very comfortable. It looks really sexy. I find that the Forester starting 2012 model and above, they look better than the Vanguards. In terms of resale value, the Subaru guy will sell faster than the Vanguard guy. Why? Because there are many people that are looking for the Subarus than the guys that are looking for the Vanguards. Also, the fact that you bought a Vanguard more than 50 million, it will be very hard for you to want to sell it at less than, let's say, 45. Yet, if someone buys a Subaru at 46, it's very easy for them to say, let me sell it at 40 NG vehicle. Also, as you guys go to buy cars, especially these cars that I'm talking about, the expensive cars, as you go to buy cars, I find that the one thing you need to make sure you remember is that don't buy an expensive car if your cash flow is not good, because you're going to want to sell it. You'll buy a car 46 million and sell it at 30. Million 16. So only buy these expensive cars if you are sure your cash flow is good, your income is good, or you have assets that will not force you to sell your car. Other than that, if you have 50 million and you don't want to get into someone called me like yesterday and they wanted to sell their Subaru Forester. One they bought at 47 and they want to sell it at 44, and I told them, Musajja, abantu abalina sente zo bagenda mu bondi, so agenda jiguza abasuubuzi million nga 283. Why? Because yajigula nga teyetegese. Thank you very much for being part of this episode of the Car Weekly Roundup. I wish you a very lovely new year, a very happy new year. If you don't see me in the broadcast, don't forget we have broadcasts every day, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m., 7:15, 7:20 a.m. until the hour elapses, and then on weekends in the evenings at 5:15 p.m. Don't forget, I do pre-purchase inspections. If you're going to do a vehicle purchase and you want a friend to go with you, I'm your guardian angel. I make sure you make the right choice. I make sure you don't get cheated, and I come together with a mechanic. I charge a very small fee to make sure that not only the operations of this channel go on, but also that baabani banywa amata. So don't forget to do that. And of course, if you have a car that you would want for me to review some of those special cars, yeah, you can hit me up and tell me Arthur Jango reviewing Morokeno, so that other people get to experience what I've been able to experience. I wish you a very lovely 2025. Until the next episode. Ciao. Jump, 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 jump. Jump, jump.